The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
No! I'm going down to Alphabet Street. I'm gonna crowd.
F this, F that, F everything, because it is the F Word Show with Cathy and not Toriano tonight. Again, I'm sorry, you guys, but you know what? The Wolf Keeper is out howling at the moon in Spain right now, and he's out there training some dogs. I wonder if they have accents when they bark. I always wonder that kind of stuff, because I'm weird that way. But never fear. I've got a really special guest today. We've got some really great F words that we're going to talk about, but here's one F word that I'm going to say, friend. My friend, Sam Beard, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me, Cathy. I really enjoyed our show the last time I was on, so I was actually looking forward to kind of being on again, so I appreciate you having me again.
Oh, well, you know I love talking to you anytime I possibly can anyway. And what's nice is Sam is actually here in Minnesota, like me, dealing with the wonderful springtime beauty of what I call snert. Snow, dirt, what is it? It's just gross. Starting to melt, but it looks disgusting. So hurry up and get done with it. But, Sam, so we haven't been friends for a really long time, but I mean, I kind of just fell for the friendship immediately with you. I adore you.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it, Happy Cathy. Yeah, I actually...
And he calls me Happy Cathy, so that makes me smile.
I hadn't heard from you in a while, and I said, well, she kind of dumped me after the Super Bowl whole hoopla. We were all hanging out, and we had a whole click thing rolling there, and all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, well, where's Robert and Griff, and, I mean, where are you guys at? What's going on? You know, and I haven't heard from you guys, and it's like, okay, what's the deal? So
I know,
I'm glad
right?
to hear from you and everything.
It's still recovery mode, I think, man. Those 10 days, they were hard. They were hard. Man.
Hard party. 5 parties in 5 days for me. It was something I'm way too old for.
No, it's well, speaking of way too old, here's a scary thought is I was just in Sonoma, California last week. The last time I was there, I pretty much, gave them a run for their money with all the wine. I drank a lot. And I partied a lot, and I had a blast. And this last time, because I was sick last week, and just been fighting stuff since the Super Bowl, actually, the first night I got there, I had 2 glasses of wine with the hors d'oeuvres, and then I brought 2 glasses of wine to my room, and I didn't drink them. I fell asleep. That's lame.
Oh, really?
That's so lame.
Yeah, that was very lame.
Well, then
and
the next night...
some of the most expensive stuff out there.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm in Sonoma. What? And so then,
right.
So then the next night, I was there for one of the insurance carriers that I work with, Legacy Marketing Group, by the way, shameless plug. Love them. Love them. I'll get them to sponsor for us pretty soon. But we went out to this nice Italian restaurant in downtown Petaluma. And I had...
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I had... Okay, so I had a little bit more. I had 4 glasses of wine. But
okay.
I'm a professional. I can do this, right?
Right.
We leave dinner, go back to the hotel, which is really a fun hotel. It's the Sonoma Sheraton. I'm name dropping, man. They better love me. But anyway, I'm standing there and everybody's walking into the bar, and I'm like, I had this moment that I paused because I immediately walked towards the bar and then I stopped. I really don't feel like feeling like crap tomorrow. I went to my room and I didn't drink anymore. That's scary. And one of the guys that works for Legacy, Craig, I said, I think I'm gonna go to my room. And he goes, what? When did you grow up all of a sudden? I'm like, I don't think I did. I think it's just a momentary lapse of better judgment because I couldn't do the show last Tuesday Toriano was running late and he couldn't make it on, and I'm like, I can't carry it. I could hardly. I had no voice. I just felt like I had a sinus infection. I felt like crud. So I went, you know what? I'm just not going to do it. And usually that doesn't stop me, but I was responsible.
Well,
that word is
glad
weird.
you're back.
Thank you.
You know, I think you still were recovering from all of that stuff we did for Super Bowl.
Oh my
So I
God.
think
That was so much fun though. It really was. There were so many great people here. It was just wild. Well, speaking of, that's another F word, football. So let's tell everybody how we met, because there is a football player that I met you through.
My buddy, former Minnesota Viking, number 97, to Lance Sawyer. Shout out to my buddy.
Shout out to Lance. Woohoo! How you doing? You better be listening.
Yeah, T-Saw is a nickname we affectionately call him. And Lance came up here from Dallas, visiting. I would say he's probably up here 8-10 times last year, and set stuff up for the Super Bowl. And I think we met at one of the golf tournaments, celebrity golf tournaments we were playing in.
Didn't we meet the year before at the alumni weekend?
Let me think. Was that before? Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Griff and I
You're
were
correct.
walking. Okay.
Yep. Then I saw you again over there when we were at the Tyrone Carter's celebrity golf tournament.
Yes.
That day, playing in that. So that was fun. Yeah. And so now and then we all kind of hooked up and figured out a way to kind of connect and make a little bit of money and put an event together and have some fun. So yeah, it was a really one of the most memorable times of my life and best experiences. So I'll never forget it.
Well, okay, so one of the other F words that we're going to talk about is, I know this isn't an F word, but philanthropy. I know that's PH, you guys, but let's just pretend I'm blonde for a second and think it's spelled that way. But, oh, wait.
Oh, that's a big word.
I know, but it's not spelled with an F. But, the philanthropy. I mean, that's how we met. I mean, and that's what kind of floats my boat, and I'm talking about floating. But, because we're going to get into that, but raising money for worthy causes, I know Lance is all about that. Obviously, TC does too. Robert Griffith with the Robert Griffith Foundation. And then, I don't know if I really told you much about this, Sam, but one of the things that I'm really getting behind, because it is so near and dear to my heart with the military background in my family. My mom and dad were both in the Army. My dad for 38 years, my mom for 30. My dad was a command sergeant major. My mom a first sergeant. My ex-husband was in for 22 years. And he's one of them. And now my baby, my little boy, Mason, he joined the Army National Guard. He's a Cav Scout, which is like, oh my gosh, scary stuff. But, Toriano, who's on the show with me, the Wolf Keeper, he is a dog trainer, and he's been doing that for 20 years. And he was commissioned by Rush University to help train service dogs for vets suffering from PTSD. And, my ex-husband has been, I guess for lack of a better term, almost pretty much institutionalized for the last year.
Okay.
He got out for a little while, but it didn't take. But 22 vets a day are killing themselves, Sam. And
oh wow,
yeah, and it's hard for me to even talk about without getting choked up. But my ex was almost one of those statistics, and luckily, he got into the VA. They were doing some heavy duty treatment on him. He's on his way up, which is good. But I'm going to tell you something. This weekend, on Saturday, he texted me and he said, I really need to see the dogs. And so I went over there with my middle son, Austin, and his girlfriend, Shelby. We went over to the VA, and we brought my little wiener dog and my little corgi lab mix to go see him. And just seeing what it did for him, with how happy they were to see him and just the look on his face. And then also, we were in his housing area, and this woman was there, and she was so excited. I mean, seeing what the dogs do for them.
Right, exactly. Okay.
And knowing what service dogs can do for these vets that are suffering from PTSD, traumatic brain injuries. They can sense when something's going to trigger. They're trained to do so many different things that dogs actually do naturally, but they're training actually the service members, the vets, as well on training. I mean, it's such a wonderful program. So not only are they helping to save the vets, but when you think about it, they're saving the pets too. Because think of like all those dogs that are sitting out there and trainable and needing a good home. But there's and there's so much that goes behind it. A long process. I mean, and so Rush University, they're in Chicago, the Road Home program, Ryan Brown, I mean, he's been wonderful, but yeah, they commissioned Toriano to train these dogs. He's been training dogs for 20 years, and they're the first group that he trained. They're going to be ready to go, I think, April 15th. So I'm so excited.
Spain for now.
Right now he's in Spain, but he's got other trainers that work for him too. But no,
but he's lucky enough to be in Spain right now.
Yeah, I know. He's traveled all over the world. I can't wait for you to meet him. You're gonna love him. But
absolutely. Well, I can't wait till he gets back. We'll have to introduce him to him, and we'll do lunch and everything.
I will. Yeah, he lives in Chicago, so we'll have to go down to Chicago. Okay.
Well, I'm there kind of sometimes. I have a lot of relatives there. I'm from there, so for sure.
Well, see, there we go.
Absolutely.
There we go. Well, and he had invited Freeway, and that's another F word that we'll talk about. But let's Freeway Ricky Ross. So let's talk about him real quick, because that's somebody else that I met because of Sam.
Right.
So tell me how you met Freeway Rick Ross, because, man, I mean, everybody just was like, wait, you, Cathy, from Excelsior, Minnesota? No, Freeway Rick Ross, really?
Right, that's funny. No, that is funny. That's funny.
The mom of three who lives in Chanhassen now, across the street from Prince, but, well, not anymore, but how did you meet Freeway Ricky Ross? I like him. He's so nice, and he's so smart.
Right. He is. He's a very bright guy. That's a kind of an interesting / funny story.
Love funny. That's another F word, you guys. Just keep track, okay?
Absolutely. Well, it was a few years ago. My buddy Talance, who we just were talking about, number 97, shout out. He was having a DVD release party down in Dallas at the time, and I basically decided to go down and support him with that. And down there, Rick Ross, Freeway Rick, was actually there supporting Talance as well. So we met through him. I came back, I read his book, and I called Talance, and I said, man, Talance, this guy should be friends. We kind of have a lot in common. I kind of can connect with him through his book. So he said, well, why don't you just call him up? I said, what do you mean call him up? He said, just call him up. So, I waited a little while and things like that. And so after
you had a bromance. That's what it was.
Well, that's funny.
A little bromance. No,
and so,
I love it.
Make a long story short, I called him up one day and I said, hey, Rick, would you be my friend?
Won't you be my
and make a long story short, we've been friends ever since. Real good guy, and we hang out a lot.
Oh, I like that. No, and I love that. Did you really say, because that's, the F word for tonight, friend. Will you be my friend? You really say that because I love that.
What else do you really say in that situation? Actually, I don't know. If I'd have said like, I don't know what else I could say.
Right. But did he go like? I'm like,
maybe if I said, hey, will you be my boyfriend? Or
no, but it's like, okay. Hey, can we be friends? I really like you. I think that's so cool because I'm just like, think about it. Do people really like go up to him and say that kind of stuff? Because I don't think they do. You know?
No, people don't. People interact on the internet and things like that, and through Snapchat, and I don't even know how to use that, but so I like face-to-face human contact. Always have. I'm a people person. So and so is Rick, and like I said, we're about the same height. He's a little taller. So he's cool to hang out with because, he's we're right about the same height and he's smart and, so we can bounce intellectualities, if that's a word, off of each other. So,
I like it, intellectualities. That should be in a song.
Yeah, I make a lot of words up.
Yes. Obviously, I make spelling up. Philanthropy. No, so that's so cool. So, what are some of the things that you've done with him? He's got a lot of great things going on. Right now, especially with the cannabis industry and everything that's going on. We had Toriano and I had him and Bonita Momani on, and they were talking about that and what's going on and what they're getting behind. And AZ.
I do know, I talked to him maybe a month ago, and he was explaining to me that I think they've got a movie coming out that I think 50 Cent is supporting, basically, that kind of thing. But I produced and released a song called I Know the Real Rick Ross.
I love it.
And it's by True Gangsta Productions, a company that I actually recently started as well, distribution company. So we've done that, and that's doing well. It's a great song by the nephew, and really nice young up-and-coming local artist. Really put it down, and so we're going to be doing some other tracks. So stay tuned, watch out for that young man. The nephew is hot.
Wait,
really nice young man.
Are you able to go on and pull up a little bit of that song so people can hear it?
Oh, his song. I don't know if I could. I could probably pull it up on my computer, but I don't know if it would sound right.
Yeah. Okay. No, you know what? We'll have it. Mm-hmm. We'll have it put out on Armed Radio, and we can ask.
Yeah. You should just air it. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see what we can do. I love that. Well, I'll ask. I'll call in a favor. Yeah. No, I think that's so cool. But so now you wrote that.
No, I didn't write it. Okay, I didn't write it. What happened? Let me give you the way it worked out. Okay. I have a wonderful massage therapist that's been working for me for a few years named Samantha Barth, Sammy B. She goes by. Really quality therapist. So if you're a massage escape, try her out.
Okay.
But she had been sending me information on songs and things like that on one of her nephew. And so I heard some of his songs. He had some skill. And so I had been hanging out with Rick Ross in Flint, Michigan, and we kind of hung out, and we had this whole posse crew thing, and it just gave me some ideas. So I came back after that, and I connected with him, and he didn't know who Rick Ross was, or Freeway Rick Ross, and so I gave him some insight, and I said, well, hey, I want the song to say this, I want you to talk about this, I want the beat to be that, kind of collaborated with him. Mm-hmm. And so he was so smart, he came up and he did his research, and he came back with a song, and he hit it. He hit the song, hit the nail right on the head. I was so impressed. Rick happened to just be in town when the song was released, and when he gave it to me, and I went over to his Airbnb and I said, "You've got to listen to this." So I took the team and we all piled in my car. I've got a nice K900 or whatever, and so we piled into it because of the sound and everything. We started to ride around the block, and I let him hear it, and he liked it immediately. Told me I had approval to put it out. And that was kind of the, hopefully, short version of it.
I love it. Okay, so how do you make money on that? Because I'm clueless. Because what can we do?
Well, let me tell you this.
How does that work?
How about this? As an entrepreneur, I'm still figuring it out. How about that?
Okay, because as an entrepreneur also, and somebody that knows a lot of people just like you do, it's like whatever I can do. One of the things, when you mentioned Flint, my friend Mike, I think you do. So we had, so Flint, by the way, another F word. I hope you're keeping tally. But,
okay.
Anyway, Merjan Flowers, who's a fighter, click, get another, okay. And Mike Farrow.
You're dropping those F-bombs.
I'm dropping F-bombs everywhere. This is my way of getting away with it on the air. F word. Right. It's another F word, guys. But, so, those guys are from Flint. They also have, so, Lyric to Queen is a rapper from Flint. She was on The X Factor with Simon Cowell. She's phenomenal. But she's doing a lot of stuff on her own. So I would love to like get in a conversation. Her brother Delano has a medical relief place up in Flint, Michigan called Pooh Diddy's. So if you need medicinal medicine, he can help you out next time you're in Flint. Okay.
Right.
But I mean, there's just a whole community of people that are right on the cusp. What do we do? Push it to the next level. I mean, she's been like touring with like some big names, and I'm not gonna do that. I'll let her talk about that because we're gonna get her on. But there's, I think, just like different parties. Getting some things. I mean, I want to do, comes another F-bomb, fundraising, or the Pets for Vets, or any other, organizations that, really just need some help. And I mean, what a great way to do it is to like launch some of these artists in the right, like venue, getting the right people around. But doing it to help a cause also at the same time. So we should have to talk about that. Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
So that is Freeway. And I mean, I really liked him. I hope he liked me. I'm kind of like not.
Well, no, I'll ask him. How about that?
You ask.
I'll say, hey, do you like? I'll say,
Kathy,
hey,
you say
Freeway,
Kathy
do
wants
you
to be your
like
friend
Kathy?
too.
Well,
Kathy wants to be your friend too. But what, Sam? Will you be my friend?
I will definitely be your friend.
Thank
Happy
you.
Kathy.
Can we hold hands and skip and all that fun stuff? And
right.
Have Oreo cookies and milk and stuff. That's cool. I like it.
Big milk mustaches.
Milk mustaches with our little Dixie cups, drinking our milk and dipping our Oreo cookies in it like I did when I was a little kid. I was like, oh wait, no, because I really am not getting that grown
You're
up.
gonna mess around and like have us like coin a phrase or something here, like "Will you be my friend?" And like years ago, they had people coin a phrase. Some of us who are old enough to remember the lady with "Where's the beef" from Wendy's.
Yes. Oh my God! And that got used. It was like, I don't think there's anybody back there. That one was so good.
Well, you got to be old enough to actually remember that when a lady said, "Where's the beef?" Yeah.
Where's the beef? Oh my gosh.
Right.
No, my grandma.
Yeah, so you guys will be coining my phrase, "Will you be my friend?"
Will you be my friend? Don't see, that's got to go in a song. It does.
Right.
Yep,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so
I love it.
So yeah, you've got a lot of F-bombs going on.
I know. You got any F-bombs you want to throw out there? Don't make me be the bad guy all the time.
Well, let's see here. What's the one franchise?
Yes, but before we talk about franchise, I want to talk about this. Float. And then, oh my God, and then what's the name of your sauna? That starts with an F too.
Well, it's kind of a little. It's an infrared sauna.
I thought I looked at your website though, and it's some fluff and fluffer thing. I don't remember, but I should have wrote it down. I saw an F word, but float. So when I got together with Sam, you guys, he was telling me about one of his locations because he's got 2 right now, and we're going to talk about franchising here in a second. But he said, well, and I don't think I was Happy Cathy yet. Was I Happy Cathy yet? I don't think I was Happy Cathy yet.
No. You were just Kathy.
I was just Kathy.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So he invited me to come try this thing out where you float. And Sam, I would love for you to tell everybody exactly what it is I'm talking about and why. Seriously, my body, if my body could, let's say, drool, like the Pavlovian response, It would, because that's what it would do. It's actually having a hot flash. That's what it is. Because it wants the float pool so bad.
Well, I mean, would you like to list that as one of the benefits of floating then?
Oh my God, yes, please. So please explain to everybody what we're talking about when we're talking about floating. I mean, yes, there's Pooh Diddy's version of floating up in Flint floating, hey. But then there's this kind of floating, which is very medicinal for me also.
Well, what it is that floating is basically we take about 800 pounds of pure high-grade Epsom salt, and we dump it into about 110 gallons of water, which creates an environment where it's about 11 inches deep of water, so it's not something that you can drown or anything like that. And so basically what happens is that the high density of water creates a zero gravity environment, and it puts your body into a anti-gravity state, which is your body's most relaxed state. Mm-hmm. And so the magnesium and everything within that high concentration of Epsom salt is just astronomical for your body's healing. It's almost like the salt has a mind of its own, and it will find what's wrong with you, what's your problem, and it kind of just will solve it. I remember about a year ago I came in.
Body. It was busy when I was in.
Oh, it was. Yeah. And I could feel it attacking areas. Like I was really sore one day, and I walked past the front desk, and I came in. I had called him. I said, "Hey, get the float ready," and I could barely walk. And so when I came out of there that day, I was able to really do cartwheels. It was just amazing. It found what was wrong with my body, and it was almost grabbing and saying, "Hey, come here," you know. So
right.
it was one of the most healing things. So if you're under stress or, just whatever, it kind of takes care of it. And so basically you float for about an hour. Max, it's 2-hour sessions that we actually offer. And we've had the service for about a year. You're really doing wonderful. People are giving it just excellent reviews and really liking the new service.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know it was. People, when you go in there, it's like, okay, I'm going to shower, I'm going to be naked, I'm going to lay down in this water and just lay back. And you float, your ears are under the water. But, okay, so how does that, think about it, because everybody wonders, it's like my naked ass, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said it that way, is in the water, and somebody else's naked stuff was in the water before me. What do I have to worry about, if anything?
Well, you actually don't have anything to really worry about, because first of all, the very first thing is that the high concentration of salt, nothing can survive, no type of bacteria anyway in that water. And number two, we basically use several cleaning methods in between each client session. So we allow a minimum of 30 minutes. And so what we do is there's an industry standard of cleaning and filtering your water at least 3 times between sessions. We filter it about 5 to 6 times. We also use a oxygenation system that's used to purify bottled water in between each session that we release into the system to clean the water between each session, along with a filtration system. So it's very safe. It's cleaned very thoroughly between each client. And so other products are used on a weekly basis to maintain water quality as well.
Wow. That is, okay, so you got that. How big, is that booked all the time? I can't even imagine. I was so fortunate when you and I went to Perkins, when we first fell in love. No, we're friends. But, so when you said, hey, you want to come and try it? I go, yeah. Because I was telling you about my Lyme disease and the pain and everything. You went, I think that can help you. But, how are you advertising this? How's the word? Is it word of mouth mostly? What's going on?
Well, we have some Groupons out there that we run on occasion. We also run several ads on our Facebook pages, and we also have a phenomenal deal on our website right now that includes a massage and a float session, a 1-hour float session for only $99, and I think it's $174 value. So that has really taken off that particular special. And it's been in about a year, and it's really just now kind of starting to really take off, and people are starting to know that we actually have the service and try it out. Really like. Mm-hmm.
Love it. I love it. No, it is like, seriously, when I did it, you guys, I got in my car afterwards and I just sat there because I was like, well, and then because after that I sat in the sauna for a little bit. No, did the detox on my feet. That's what it was in the sauna room. That's a little telling. It's like, ew.
You're like the I am quick lands, huh?
Yeah. I'm like, what just came out of me? But, no, you guys, I sat in my car, and I am always, like, as I'm talking to you right now, I have so much pain in my joints. That stupid little wood tick that bit me. I mean, it's impacted my life so much. But that was the first time since that all started with me, I had no pain in my body. And I sat there, I didn't even know what to do with myself because it was just like, wrong. This is, oh my God. And that was, I left my my review right then and there before I even pulled out of the parking lot. Because I was just bored. I was afraid to leave. Because I didn't want to.
And I love that room. I love that room. People will come into that room and come into the studio and they will be stressed out. And about 9 out of 10 times at least they go in that float room and they always come out happy. About 9 out of 10 times. And so, that's really awesome for floating. And I'm glad I added the service because it was really a mess to deal with and very difficult to add into our particular location. So, people were wondering, is this going to work, and is this worth it? And I know I put my staff through a lot of construction and things, so it's now actually very well worth it, and I'm glad I did it.
So is it now? It's like it's a moneymaker for you now, right? You've been able to get over that hump.
Well, we're getting over. It's making money. It's definitely profitable.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so, as far as, the initial investment of it, probably just recouping the original, initial investment right now. So yeah.
Right. Well, and so the reason why I'm leaning into that part of it is, okay, so not only do you have the float, but you have the sauna, you have, what, the foot detox?
I have foot cleanse therapy.
Foot, you guys.
Another F-bomb, huh?
I got him coming out all over the place. And I do kiss my mother with that mouth. Yes. So okay, will you explain that? Because the foot detox, these are things that, the floating, it's not something that you hear about every day. You really don't. And I really think it needs to get out there a lot more. It
does.
Seems like it's new.
It's so safe that you can even be pregnant and float, So it's that safe.
Oh my gosh.
And so, yeah, so anyone can do it is the point. And it's so healing and fulfilling and just relaxing. I know, I just can't say enough about it, honestly.
Okay, so, and then the foot, what does that do? Besides, that
what that does is that kind of, your water will turn, that pulls toxins out of your body and through your feet, and with an ionizer that we place in the water with a little bit of salt to stimulate it, and then you sit there for about 30 minutes with your feet in the water there. It kind of pulls out the toxins, and your water will turn various colors based upon what is in your body, or maybe have a problem, or maybe detoxifying, and so sometimes me and my instance, I was glad I did mine at home privately. I had just had some Five Guys, and oh my goodness, it smelled just like Five Guys on the water. I'm like, geez, and it had pulled all. I was like, wow. So, and after that, me personally, I experienced situations where you don't have kind of the morning breath for 2 or 3 mornings after you
morning breath.
After you've done it. Yeah. So right, where and so and that's great. You don't have morning breath for a while, so
Or you just get up and brush your teeth too. So, but who does that, right? Good morning.
Right, but not one of those things I noticed.
Wow. Okay, so what other services? So you meant how many massage therapists do you have? I mean, I'm wanting people to picture this, okay? Or as Griff always says, peep this. But okay, so give us an example. So you walk in. What kind of services do you have there?
Well, we have two locations, and they both have kind of some of the same and some of the opposite services.
Okay.
Our Roseville location has the float therapy. We offer infrared sauna there, which is a dry heat type of a sauna. And we also offer couples massage with fireplaces in the rooms there, the ion foot cleanse therapy also, and then regular therapeutic massages also. And so we're looking to add various types with like bamboo massage and things like that, maybe cupping in the future, services like that within the massage. And then our Savage location, which goes by the name of Escape Wellness Studio, kind of a sister location, that location also has cryotherapy. And then it also has colon hydrotherapy, and then it has a steam sauna as opposed to a dry infrared sauna. The steam sauna is more of a wet heat where you throw the water on the rocks and things like that.
Okay, so speaking of colors that come out, so that colon therapy, hydrotherapy, you and I were talking about that. So you can find out some shit. Sorry about your stuff, right? So
right. Well, yes.
Isn't that something? No, wait. But isn't that something that you should have done at a doctor's office? I'm curious. Is it dangerous?
No. I don't believe you can have it actually done at a doctor's office. No, I don't believe you can. We get actually a lot of referrals from doctors these days before they do the colonoscopy. I believe the name of it.
Yeah.
And so before they do that, they'll refer some of their clients to us because we actually carry the only FDA approved machine where the client can almost do it themselves. So it makes it far, far less invasive.
But do you have to have like some certain like license or anything to be able to do that since it is FDA approved?
Yeah, we have two certified colon hydrotherapists. They're awesome. And they are certified in colon hydrotherapy by the manufacturers of the machine.
Okay. And so, so wait. So then if the doctor, so let's say, okay, I got to drink that drink and I got to do this. And so they have them do all that and then come to you before they have it?
No, actually, that's not really necessary. The machine that we use kind of omits a certain amount of water into the colon, and you kind of push back out. I just tried it a few months ago. It was a very interesting experience for me. And so, but you kind of control that cycle of water, but it'll allow it to go up as far as you can kind of stand it, and you kind of push out. And it's a 45-minute session, so you're kind of going to go through your bowel movement about 20 times on average, I would say.
Wow. Do people like lose weight, feel lighter after they do that? Does it get a lot of...
Yeah, you can actually have up to about 10 pounds of excess feces in your colon. And so I've seen people who will come in trying to fit into a wedding dress, or before their wedding they want to look great. Mm-hmm. Then people maybe trying to lose weight. And so people come out all the time lighter because all of that back up there. I can personally tell you I was definitely lighter. My stomach was definitely flatter. And yeah, I definitely, and Rick Rossi actually came in town telling me how good I look, so, because we were in Flint, Michigan. Oh my God, we were in Flint, Michigan, and I took this photo with the mayor, and my stomach was out, and I was like, oh my goodness. So I immediately went home and bought me a thing to lose the stomach deal.
So, okay, yeah, so he was like, oh yeah, you're not so full of it anymore, right? Wow, so that's...
Right.
That's amazing. No, but okay, think about this. So I gotta have you talk to my guy Mike, who actually he has 137 fighters that work for his Truly Grand Sports. Okay, and they need to make weight.
Right.
Ooh.
Okay.
See
Absolutely.
where I'm going?
Absolutely. Well, cryotherapy for athletes
Okay.
is big. I mean, what cryotherapy does is it actually replaces the ice bath in a sense that a football player, for example, like our buddy number 97, Lance, would take after a big game, and then it's painful and everything else, as opposed to going into a 3-minute session of cryotherapy, which puts you. And what cryotherapy is, I'll just back up. Is cryotherapy puts you into up to a minus 190-degree environment, up to 3 minutes.
I mean,
And what
that's
it does,
like worse than Minnesota cold.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, it is actually, huh? And what it does is it actually puts your body, it tricks your body into thinking it's freezing by reducing your skin temperature down to about 40 degrees. And so what happens is that it pushes that blood to the core where it picks up those vital nutrients. And when you warm back up, we push on the vibration machine, it pushes that blood back out, that enriched blood back out to your extremities.
I just got
and so
chills.
you're healing fast, and you've got a burst of energy, and so it's almost like a charge. So that's what that is.
Wow. Well, it's almost like, because like, you know, like you can freeze and then come back to life, right? I mean, in some instances, they warm your body up slowly.
To get there to the 190 degree temperature, minus 190, I should say, we use nitrogen. Actually, is what's used to get to that point, which you have to, actually, be careful with. Obviously, there's no dangers in it, but it is a cold. That's how we get there, and it is a cold product and that kind of thing.
Okay.
So yeah.
So, sorry. I mean, I'm stuttering because I hate being cold so much. So, what does it do? I mean, frost. Oh, hey, here's another F word, frostbite. What about that? I mean, I'm sorry. My fingers, F word. Feet. It's like, what does it do to your extremities? I mean, seriously, like how they say, if you're outside, let's say it's 20 below zero, wind chill is 40, you're out there waiting at the bus, you will freeze in like 2 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever. Wait, this is way colder.
Right. Well, like I said, what it does is it gets you cold enough to where it tricks your body into thinking it's freezing, so all of that blood will rush to the core of your body, and so to kind of in a protective mode, in a protective state. And so that's, after you get out, you experience immediate power charge, skin improvements, just a lot of different things. And so it's good to get, when you first begin cryotherapy, to get maybe 3 sessions within the first 7 days, and then kind of maybe once a week to continue that up and then reduce it from that point, so you can maintain those quick charges, and so it doesn't take a lot of a person's time if you're short on time all the time and you don't want to get a 1 hour massage. 3 minutes, a lot of people will have that, and so that's why I like cryo.
So okay, I'm sorry, everybody, but I'm going to admit that I watched The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I don't want, I'll binge watch it. I don't sit down and watch it on the time that it's on. But the reason I started watching it is because Yolanda on the show has Lyme disease. But that was one of the things that she did to try to help her Lyme disease. So, I'm all about trying, and I told you I got some Groupons, but you think I need to eliminate the other stuff first. Don't do them both in the same day.
I told you we wouldn't let you do both services in one day, which is colon hydrotherapy and cryo. So I said, no, you can't do both in one day.
No.
And I told you I was thinking about letting you do cryo, depending on how colon hydrotherapy, how you did.
Yeah. Right.
So then, so I'll think about letting you do cryo, and I'll probably have to be there, perform your session, make sure you're okay.
Okay.
Make sure happy Cathy stays happy.
Right. My face will be frozen happy. I'll be like Mr. Freeze on Batman.
Right.
Jeez.
Right. So I want to make sure you're okay. So definitely,
so
if you decide.
That's so crazy. So with all of these different services, okay. So now we're going to get to that other F word, because now we still got time. We got 12 minutes. So okay. Entrepreneurial. fabulous, F word, friend, fun, freaky. You know, you're just like, the things that you're doing are so impressive. You know, you also ran for public office.
I did. I ran a couple times. Second time I was a DFL endorsed candidate for State House of Representatives. Yes, District 35D.
Yes, I actually hang out with
but I ran.
people. Mm-hmm. No, I mean, just to, you know, put yourself out there to be a public servant speaks volumes about your character. And so I just want to say thank you, because you know, I mean, I always tell people nobody in their right mind would run for president, but we need, you know, it's like I wouldn't want my stuff out there.
I hear you.
For sure.
Well, I mean, the second time I ran was I wasn't really intention. I was out working or something, and my wife called me. She says, you know, the DFL Senate Majority Leader Aaron Murphy called you a couple of times, wants you to run for this district. And I'm like, oh, wow, really? And so I said, well, if she asked me to run personally, I guess I will.
Yeah, that's such an honor. And so
that was kind of, you know, with the backing of the Democratic Party at that point. So, but, I mean, don't rule out, like, another run, or I might even run for governor. I've toyed with the idea.
You got my vote, sweetheart.
Well, I would have definitely appreciated it, yes. I'll need every vote, but I actually have toyed with the idea.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
We got goals. Hashtag
Absolutely.
goals. Right? Okay.
Right.
So before you do that, though, there's an F word called franchise. And first of all, let everybody know again, I mean, I don't think they fully heard the website, the locations, and why this has been so successful and why you want to help other people be successful with it.
Oh, excellent. Basically, you know, I'm a guy that's been on both sides of the fence, a franchise system and a business opportunity system. And both of them are good and bad in different ways. And so I currently own a Kim Drive franchise, Kim Drive, Minneapolis and St. Paul, for carpet cleaning. And I've had that for about 15 years. So I know how franchises work and things, and they're not all bad. And so then I've had business opportunities, which was my first real business, which was a dry cleaners, and that was more of a business opportunity. So what I wanted to create was an opportunity that was affordable and offers financing and that is turnkey, so it allows someone with very little knowledge to be very successful and create, you know, probably a $500,000 business. So I created this opportunity on our site, which is massageescape.com. That's massage and then XCAPE.com. And I created this opportunity on that site for $99,000. And with just $25,000 down, about a 640 credit score, we can offer financing as well. So we wanted to be able to bring this opportunity where if someone wanted to be in the business, they could create a branded opportunity under our lease licensee program without all of the high cost, like our competitors for in the $300,000-$400,000 range to get into this particular industry.
Wow. So wait, so for as little as $25,000 down, they would finance through you?
Yes, we have set up some programs with several vendors and some other in-house financing that we'll be able to offer. Yes, so with $25,000 down, someone can actually own their own Massage Escape and be in our lease licensee program. Yes.
That's okay. So then, because I've never done anything like this. So let's say I want to open one in Chanhassen. Okay, so here's my $25,000. Got my credit score. We got that. Now, what's my next step? Where do we have? So we have to find location, or is that something you do?
Yeah, that's the first thing. Well, I would do that, and we would do site selection. We would do demographic studies. I've set up relationships with different realtors and companies to be able to do those studies for us. And then what we would do is negotiate a lease. And we would negotiate things like free rent and take care of all the build-outs and coordinate that for that fees. Is what we're looking to do. So we want them to be successful. You're still gonna, if you're gonna still be part of our system no matter what. We just won't kind of leave there. We're going to offer ongoing support and everything else. So we want someone to be successful.
So then, as far as like payroll, everything like that. So when you're a franchisee, you're responsible for that, or?
Well, you're responsible for payroll either way. Number one, what you don't have to pay is a percentage of your income, which is usually 7 to 10%. They've got advertising fees and rules and fines and it's just all kind of different things that I have in my Kim Drive business, but I do not have in my Massage Escape business, so because I own the brand. So it's a very, very big difference. You're really in a franchise for the most part renting the business in a sense. Because you've got to get permission to sell it and so there's all kind of different rules. So as opposed to creating your own brand. So that's what made me go and create my own brand within Massage Escape.
Damn, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, is this only available in Minnesota? Or are you going national?
Well, no, what we're looking actually to offer, I would love to go to Dallas. I would love to go to Atlanta, Orlando. I would love to expand to those particular areas, specifically. Maybe Chicago is what we're looking at. But I would prefer, honestly, to expand places outside of Minnesota as my first option. And what we're hoping to do, we'll be listing our opportunity in a few days on businessopportunity.com. And so they'll see the listing there. It'll be up there. And so what we're hoping to be able to do is open up at least 2 locations by the end of the year through some lease licensing programs and get the program up and running is what we're really hoping to do.
Wow. No, I think that's fabulous. Well, no, again, I know my friend Mike down in Iowa, he's in Cedar Rapids. There's a need. I know there's a need for Massage Escape down there. Definitely is. Because, well, number one, he is the youngest owner of a professional basketball team. They're going to be moving the team from Michigan to Iowa. There's a new what do they call it? League in town. But I mean, think about that with the athletes that'll be down there. I mean, did you have to choose between, because like you said, you have your 2 locations, do you have to choose between having a float pool and a cryo chamber? Or do you get to pick?
Yep, that's a good question. The initial $99,000 package that we offer will include 6 rooms, which one will be with a sauna. It will not include a float room in that particular one, so there is a cost, an additional little bit higher cost to add a float room, because it's such a variable with the plumbing and what type you go with.
Okay. No, that's really good to know, though. So that would be that would probably just increase your startup cost?
Yeah, we're guessing like right around 130, so about 30,000, depending on whether or not a shower needs to be built. But maybe it could increase it probably only really 10 to 20,000, depending on what type of a float pod tank you went with.
No.
Yeah, so we're looking at hopefully adding that service in Savage soon as well. We'd love to add that out there. Yep, so we could definitely be able to be closer to you, happy Cathy,
yes.
and
I know, and I'd be even happier because then you can come and watch me freeze my ass off.
Like double happy Cathy?
I'll be triple happy Cathy. Oh my gosh, it'd be so. I love that. Well, okay. I've got like this big bathtub that I could maybe just like knock some stuff out and put one up of my own, right? How much would that cost? That would be a lot.
They have a kind of a deal that I saw online where you could have a home-based one. It was maybe $4,000 or $5,000 if I just can't scan it cost it. But
that's work.
There's some cheaper things that you could get. Pardon me?
That's work. That's work, though.
You don't want to do any work. It takes the relaxation out of it.
Right.
You're not going to float that much.
Although, I should have. I mean, if it was like the world that it should be for me, where the sky is the color of beer. But I would have, I would be carried like Cleopatra by shirtless men who feed me grapes and put me in a float pool. I'd be happy, really happy, Cathy. So that would be so
what
nice.
I would love to have, and probably would be my very next service that I would add, honestly, to our establishment. I've really developed a strong liking for the steam room.
Oh, yes.
Steam room.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about shirtless, like, massage therapists or something.
Oh, God, no. Well, only you, happy Cathy, that make you happier. No, a steam room.
Okay. All right. Well, it would get steamy, trust me. So, Sam, I am. Look at how fast the time went. It's time for us to hang it up right now. But I want to thank you so much. We're going to put a lot of information out on our social media so people can check you out. But you know what? My friend who floats and makes me just so happy. That's why I'm happy, Cathy. Thank you for joining me tonight, Sam.
I appreciate you having me on again, Cathy.
All right. Good night.
All right. Thanks.
And that was a lot of F words, by the way.